and welcome to our first MSECCA Monday, a break where we get to meet the people on the front lines actually doing the work, and that you will be supporting with your contributions. My name is Bruce Van Note. I'm the Commissioner of the Maine Department of Transportation. Please, if anybody ever needs to refer to me, just call me Bruce. It's much easier. I've always used that. It works well. I like the informality. Our first MSECCA Monday profile is Nathan MacDonald, who is the Development and Community Education Director for the Family Violence Project. That project aims to end domestic abuse in Kennebec and Somerset counties, and it provides anonymous and confidential hotline, a domestic violence shelter, support groups, education programs, and so much more. And I'm very honored and privileged to introduce Nathan MacDonald. Nathan, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Bruce, and thank you, MSECCA, for having me come to your first Monday to be able to talk a little bit about who we are at Family Violence Project and what we do. So, as Bruce said, that we are the Domestic Violence Resource Center for Kennebec and Somerset County. What does that mean? That means that we are here on all aspects of domestic violence for the two catchment areas. We are part of the broader Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence, which has DVRC spread out throughout the counties just to kind of break up the work a little bit to have more specific applicable resources for your area. But we are the ones that serve Kennebec and Somerset. So that means we cover 5,000 square miles and serve about 150,000 people. So at the core of our work is always victims and survivors. And we do that through a variety of different ways. So we have both proactive and reactive services. So reactive services would include stuff like our 24/7 helpline. It's free and confidential. You call, an advocate will pick up and will talk you through situations. We can do individualized safety plans through there. We can help get people out of situations. So we have 2 emergency shelters. So if there is an elevated risk, then we can bring some victims and survivors to our emergency shelters that we run. We can help with court advocacy. We don't have any lawyers on staff, but we do have court advocates who know the process of like protection from abuse agreements and civil legal courts, so going through the process of like child protective services and family court and all that good stuff. We have the liaisons that kind of mediate between the two parties to help out in that situation. More of the reactive things, so we have our 24-hour shelter. Moving into like proactive. So as we know, domestic violence is a issue that is systemic. It's not necessarily, people aren't raised to become abusive. So it's a learned trait and pattern that happens in our society. So we look at the holistic approach to attempt to break down some of these a little bit further. So we have school-based educators who are in pre-K through college. We have 2 of them, one of which the United Way of Kennebec Valley supports, and that's what your dollars go to. So just as a frame of reference of what we get from United Way and what you get from United Way is you help go through and teach children what healthy relationships look like. So they start in pre-K where it's like the hands are not for hitting and what a healthy relationships and you should respect your friends and all that good stuff. And as we move up in the grades, it becomes more of the serious conversations about like dating violence, teen dating violence, what that looks like. How do you get some of those helps? What are those warning signs to look out for, that type of situation? So more proactive, we have a community-based educator who goes around and does trainings for upon request. So if anyone in the State Department would like training, reach out to me. We have a school-based educator, we have a community-based educator that will help out with that. And then we also have a men's work program, which is a 42-week program that is a batterer intervention program that we run, which is kind of unique, where we work with the batterers as well to change their learned behaviors and patterns so they know what is appropriate and what is not. So why, so those are all of our services, but why is it important for you and for Maine and for all the work that we're doing? it simply boils down to, according to like some of the latest numbers when it comes to the crime index that Maine State Police put out, 50% or half of every homicide in Maine is domestic violence related. And that's staggering. So half of every person that is killed in our state is killed due to a family, intimate partner, a family member, a loved one. That's just staggering. And so looking at this problem, it's not just a problem that is behind closed doors. It's not this like thing that happens elsewhere in other communities. It is this specific issue that is in our communities. So we work to attempt to do these proactive and reactive work to kind of mitigate some of these issues, but we need more support. And we always need more support because we can expand further and reach more people with the more support that we have. So we're partnered with over 100 organizations in the area, whether it be educational institutions, community organizations. There's so many different partnerships that we have that we can utilize to further the agenda as much as possible. But with your support, we can help further these efforts, especially during times of COVID. As you know, there's a lot of stay-at-home orders. There's a lot of telling people to not venture out too far because they don't want to get infected. But how are you supposed to not venture out too far if home isn't your safe place? What does that look like? How MCEDV, so the Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence, did a survey where we went through our helpline calls for all of the domestic violence resource centers, and our numbers are up by 20% compared to last year. So more people are calling, more people are trying to get help during a time that there's fewer resources to get people that help and more barriers to getting help. So we are appreciative of everything that United Way does and helps support this mission. And we appreciate that MSECCA gives to United Way. And we hope that you continue to further these efforts and help out in their campaign this year. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you, Nathan, and thank you for everything you do. I think it was very appropriate that we started, that you were the first, because, you know, during this time of COVID-19, I mean, I'm fortunate to have a home that is more like a sanctuary. And when I go there, it feels very safe. I can't, you know, just imagining that when you go there, you're going to an unsafe place during this time. It's just, it underscores that this is the year to go big, you know, on giving. I mean, it's a tough time. We're doing this all virtually. It's a real challenge, but you just really drove it home, Nathan, that how important it is to give this year. So thank you so much. It's easy to do, to give, maine.gov/MSECCA. I've already been on that website and clicked my donation. It felt good. It felt really good, and Nathan made it feel even better. So thanks so much to you today. So get online, make your donation. I'm very honored and privileged to be there. This is the year, really step up. Big hearts, big help this year. Next Monday, we'll be doing it again. We'll be doing it every Monday morning, 9:30. We'll be speaking with representatives of the York County Homeless Shelter Program. So we'll be finding out how your donation can help other groups as well. So Nathan, thank you very much. Thank you for all that joined us today, and open up your hearts and give this year. Have a good day.